popularity, attention, you name it. Things are unparalleled here right now. How are the coaches and players handling all of this?
Yeah, Mike, I think you're right. If you start thinking about the big picture, it can get a little overwhelming for anybody, right? I mean, these are 18, 19-year-old young women. So I think us as adults, we have to kind of keep it in perspective a little bit. I think they kind of, you know, your emotions rub off on them. There's no doubt about that. I think as a coach, you have to lead in that way. And to us, we're trying to enjoy it. And you've heard me say this before. I've stole this quote from Billie Jean King many a times. And in fact, I'm reading the book right now, Pressure is a Privilege. And so I think we have to remember that we're in this situation of facing pressure because we've done well. Let's enjoy that. Let's rejoice about that. And so try to enjoy it and not think about the overall picture, but just enjoy every single day. And it sounds so simplistic, but I think that's the way that we have to handle it.
Addie had a good,
Let's take Jeff.
Addie had a good European trip for you. Has she kind of separated herself from the other post candidates as far as being started at the 5?
If I had to name a starting 5 right now, she would be there. But I wouldn't say there's a huge separation between the 3 of them. I would say, and even you could put Hannah in there too. They're very much, Addie's probably winning because of experience and height, but she did have a very good foreign tour. And I thought she played very well in the NCAA tournament. We needed her there. So that's why she's ahead of the group right now, but quite honestly, there's not a huge lead right there.
Sorry, you mentioned Kylie Feuerbach in your opening statement. I mean, it feels like it's been so long since we've seen her on the court, seen her fully healthy. Is she at 100% right now? Is she ready to go?
I would say so. I mean, in practice, for one thing, she's elected not to wear a brace this year, which in the past we've had our players that are coming off ACLs wear braces. She's elected not to, and I think that mentally that's helped her and maybe us to kind of forget about it. So she is playing very well. She had a great practice yesterday, actually, a really good practice.
Lisa, when you look at a team like this that finished the way it did, the popularity that's ensuing, there could be added, as you talked about, added pressure, scrutiny. A loss could determine you have more social media interactions in a negative light. Have you had any discussions with your players that now comes that because you're having more people, more attention, that could be a negative, whereas in the past you had such a close-knit community that's been more supportive when things got sideways a little bit?
Yeah. And remember, things, we started the season last year, I think, ranked 4th, right? So we're down from last year. So there's less pressure already, right? And we had some losses early last year. We bounced back from them really well. And I think in athletics, you always kind of go back to your past and use your past experiences and how you got through those. But, talking with the team, we've talked about the pressure. We've talked about pressure as a privilege. And we've also talked about, will you quit looking at social media? You can look at, I've told this to my team, you can look at 200 things on social media. 199 can be great, and there's one that really stinks, and you'll remember the one. So don't read any of the 200. I know they need to be on social media to brand themselves, especially in this day of NIL. I understand that. But let's just not go down the rabbit hole of reading all this stuff from anonymous people.
Hey Lisa, how do you as a staff kind of manage the whole Caitlin hoopla as far as it goes with the rest of the team? I mean, she gets so much attention. I mean, keeping the locker room right, and I'm sure that you probably have real mature girls playing for you. But I guess how are you mindful of that kind of thing?
Yeah, Caitlin who was it? I agree. I think that there would be a possibility of having a turmoil in your locker room with a superstar. But I think it helps us because we have dealt with a superstar before. We had Megan Gustafson on this team. She was the National Player of the Year. Certainly, Caitlin's popularity has exceeded that. There's no doubt. I think it speaks volume that Gabby and Kate elected to come back and wanted to play with her. That shows you what kind of teammate she is. That shows you, what kind of person she is. I think the players all respect her so much because they see her. She's working hard. They see her the first one in the gym, the last one to leave. She's putting in her time. They understand that she can do some special things. And so I think that eliminates the jealousy because she is a good teammate. I think that helps quite a bit. But we will talk about it. Yeah, Caitlin has a little bit more attention, but when her light shines, it shines on everybody in that locker room. And so let's all enjoy it.
Lisa, I think in your opening statement, you said you were a little bit surprised that Gabby elected to come back. Why were you surprised that she elected to come back for a 5th season?
It was later in the year that she made that decision. And so, she graduated, she could have went on, and so I think anybody that graduates and decides to come back, I just really think that's amazing that they want to be a part of this team and a part of this program again, and I love that. I really admire that.
When you look at your guards off the bench, you've got a lot of options with Molly, with Sydney, with Kylie coming back from injury, and you mentioned Taylor McCabe. How do you kind of balance, trying to put the right lineup on the floor, but all 4 of those players, probably deserve minutes.
Yeah, you're right. We have a lot of people that deserve minutes, and there's only so many minutes to go around. There's an exercise where you put each of your players, you ask them, how many minutes they think they deserve, and then you add up all those minutes, and it's way over 200, and it's kind of a realistic approach to demonstrating that, listen, you're not going to get the minutes that you think you deserve or you probably should deserve. It's just, when you're playing on a really good basketball team with a lot of depth, that's one of those things that's really, you're giving up of yourself to be a part of this basketball team. And it's something that we have to manage as coaches, and we have to really do a good job. That falls on us to do a really good job with that.